With the release of the Black Ops 6 beta, I wanted to get to the bottom of the question: can a casual gamer enjoy Call of Duty in 2024? You know, life as a casual gamer is hard. Not everyone has time to be playing these games. With the rise of streamers, esports, meta builds, it's become more about winning than it is about having fun. Gone are the days of watching Vanos Ninja Defuse on Black Ops 2 or KY or Speedy have fun with the guys on GTA 5. It just doesn't really happen anymore, or at least not to the same extent. Not many games stand the test of time through generations of consoles. When I say that, you might think of certain games like GTA or possibly FIFA, but Call of Duty is a name that has not gone away. I've been playing Call of Duty since about World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and I was really in the golden era of CODs. Like I said, you had CODs like World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, we're not going to talk about Ghosts, Black Ops 3. Nah, but honestly, COD Ghosts got way too much hate, let's just be real. I still don't forgive them for Stonehaven though. That map was ridiculous and it still is ridiculous. But in all honesty, the last COD game I really felt connected to and a game that I really felt I could enjoy was in 2015. It was a Black Ops 3 and that was 9 years ago. And ever since then, for me personally, and I feel like for the greater landscape of the Call of Duty community, Call of Duty's been pretty lackluster, except for the brief period in time when we were in lockdown and Verdansk and Warzone was a huge thing, and granted I was on that wave as well and it really was amazing for that time, but other than that it's been pretty meh. Overall though, my favourite studio in Activision is always going to be Treyarch. Like, oh, Infinity Ward are great, but I feel like more often not Treyarch hit it on the mark. Like with Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, we're not going to talk about the campaign Train Go Boom.
They got caught with their pants down, and they took it hard. Outcome? Train Go Boom.
I'll be honest, I did not buy Black Ops 4 because they had no campaign and they replaced it with like a Warzone kind of battle royale, and I just was not messing with that, so I didn't even touch that game. But I played Cold War and I didn't really enjoy that either. So, you know, like, Treyarch have kind of fallen off the mark a little bit, but overall they're still my favourite. And my old ass started getting a lot of nostalgia when I seen all the Black Ops 6 hype coming out. Everyone was buzzing. It reminded me of all the buzz around the time when Black Ops 3 was coming out, even Black Ops 2 as well. I remember being a little kid on Christmas morning playing the Black Ops 2 campaign. It just, honestly, I enjoyed it so much, so I thought I had to give this a go and just check it out. As things usually are though, life got in the way and I was only able to play this beta on the final day of release, but I feel like I've got a good idea on what I think of the game, and really you should stick around to the end because I think you'd be surprised at some of my thoughts. The first thing I noticed when I started playing a few games that I felt the time to kill was really slow, or at least slower than normal, and I thought it was strange, so I kind of looked into it and turns out it is. When I looked into it, it actually does have some of the slowest time to kill ratios in COD history, with games like Cold War, like I said, I played and I didn't really enjoy, and Black Ops 4 that I never even touched, so I can't even talk to that. But you know, I felt it was kind of long. But as the game progressed and I got in a bit better flow and things, I actually started to kind of like time to kill, because I had played last year's Modern Warfare and I thought that the gunfights were either whoever saw the person first, they won the gunfight, you know. It didn't really come down to skill, it just came to who's going to surprise the other person first. I felt like the only kind of problem would have been is if you ran into 2 or 3 people, which I did a few times and I got absolutely destroyed. But I feel like when you're one-on-one with this TTK, it let the better player kind of shine a bit, you know. You could react to it, use the Omni move and jump out of the way and shoot them sort of thing, you know. I felt like that kind of gave a bit more leeway for that. But speaking to kind of people packing in groups, you know, and you're kind of done, I really hope that doesn't become the norm, like that doesn't become the meta of people holding hands in a room or walking around in a big team. I know it's a team-based game, but like you don't want that, of like running into 4 or 5 people and then you just get absolutely destroyed, you know. I enjoyed most of the maps too. I felt like they flowed pretty well. My favourite map definitely was Babylon, but I had a little problem with how the spawns were. There was a few times where I just spawn in and just die instantly, like there was a bit of spawn trapping going on, which I didn't hate, but I didn't love either. Like in my mind, it brought me back to like playing Black Ops 1 years ago, where you'd be in a lobby, like as I was a kid, you'd be in a lobby with all these like master prestige guys, and they're going around and they're just shooting at one spot and shooting at another and shooting at another. They know all the spawn traps off by heart. Like in that sense, it gave me a bit of nostalgia. But then my actual gaming sense was like, this is actually getting quite annoying because you just can't even move. But I thought the map flowed really well. I really enjoyed the HVT game mode. I thought that was really fun. I never got to play the map Scud because I seen everyone online going crazy about that map, how they just really didn't like it at all. I looked up some gameplay on it and it does look a bit frustrating, but I never got to play it because by the time I got into the beta, everyone hated it so much that every time it came up, it just got voted off. So I never got to play it, so I can't even speak to like if I'd like it or I don't like it. I didn't feel the gun balance was too bad. I felt like if you picked up any weapon really, you could kind of have some sort of success with it. If at least you're accurate and you actually hit your shots, you're not just spraying and praying, you will get the kills relatively fast. The only gun I kind of didn't really enjoy using was the pump action shotgun that you got as your default weapon. I forget the name of it, please don't crucify me. It just felt like it got a lot more hit markers than it really should have for a shotgun. You know, if you were literally like face to face with them, of course you'd one hit them, but if you're at like medium range, if you're at long range, fair enough, you get hit markers, you know, but at medium range I was getting like 3 or 4 hit markers and like I wasn't killing them, like I mean like in quick succession with each other, you know, and that kind of was a bit annoying, you know. But other than that, I really enjoyed most guns. I fell in love with the XMG. That gun had barely any recoil on it, had like 100 bullets in the mag. It just absolutely blitzed through people. I picked up the Jackal once or twice that people were raving on about. I never got a chance to actually play with myself, but yeah, that thing absolutely blows through people. One thing as well I want to touch on, people are saying that they want the Jackal nerfed or other guns nerfed in the full release, and I can understand that. Like I remember, I think it was the Razorback in the Black Ops 3 beta that was blitzing through people and people cried out and they wanted it nerfed, and it got nerfed to oblivion and it never really was the same ever again. But I don't really mind like kind of an OP gun, maybe not completely OP, but like, you know, I think like semi-broken things are what made COD good. Like you go back to like Modern Warfare 2 and all this sort of stuff, you have like Martyrdom and you have noob tubing and you have all these other things, or even in the Black Ops 3 you had the Brecci, whichever, the shotgun, you know, like I had other things like that worked well. Or in the sense you could have like as Black Ops 1 where like nearly every gun is good, you know, like I'm talking about like assault rifles, like you can pick up like any assault rifle or submachine gun nearly and they'd all be good, you know. I think it's either like you make a few weapons good or like all of them good, you know. But I'm happy with, like, I'd be preferring that like they don't touch it as much. I'd rather just kind of let the community figure out themselves a way around it. But obviously if a gun becomes far too overpowered, then yeah, of course, like you nerf it. But I was happy the way it was. The newest feature in the game, the main talking point of all the trailers, of all the YouTubers and all the people that are kind of talking about this game, is the Omni movement. And yeah, it's quite interesting. And really, I don't think it's too overbearing, you know. I know it can be annoying if like you're waiting around the corner for someone to come around and they just dive around the corner and just that can spin around and shoot you in the head, you know, you have no time to react to it. That can be pretty frustrating, but I think it adds a fun new dynamic to a game and a model system like that. Like it kind of needs it a little bit, you know, because you had all the slide count and all that sort of stuff in CODs before, but we never really had that like this, and I think it tweaks the movement a little bit enough to where you could still use it, but not enough to where it doesn't feel like COD. And one thing I noticed is like I did use it a lot at the start to try to get kills with it. Number one, I just found it fun, and number two, I just wanted to try it, wanted to see what it was like, how I could use it and implement it in the game. Is it worth it? Is it not? Like, just try to use it to be evasive, should I use it to attack? And as I began to use it more, I found it better to use on the retreat. You know, if you're caught off guard by anyone, I felt it was good to use on the retreat to kind of dive out of the way and then shoot them as they're coming. I didn't find it too good on the attack, and I felt like it didn't really need it that much on the attack, even though it's such a big part of the game. I felt like it just, there was plenty of work around with it, but maybe as you get higher level in the game, like as people playing ranked and all that sort of stuff, maybe Warzone or whatever they're gonna call the Battle Royale when it comes out, you know, maybe be more implemented then. But I don't think there was an actual need to really use it, you know, like properly as an attacking way. just defensively to be evasive. So I thought it wasn't that overbearing. But it's time to address the elephant in the room. The elephant in a room that is in most Call of Duties. Every time they come out with the same old tired conversation that these devs just won't listen to. Of course, I'm talking about skill-based matchmaking. Why is it in the game? Why does COD insist on having skill-based matchmaking in casual matches? I just don't understand it. Because the thing that people fell in love with COD years ago were these fun arcade shooters where you weren't taking it too seriously. You have a bit of fun, you know, maybe you drop 10 kills one game, maybe you're asked the next game. It's just luck of the draw. You know, I remember when I was a kid, you would see someone play really well and you wouldn't call them sweaty. You would add them as a friend. You'd add him as a friend. You're like, that dude's sick. He plays really well and I could probably learn off him, you know, because he didn't interact with him that often, these really good players. Now it seems like in every single lobby, I feel like I'm playing in an esports final. As to what I'm saying, like, skill-based matchmaking should only be in ranked. Like, it only makes sense in ranked. To have it in a casual setting defeats the purpose of casual, because you're making it ranked. It just makes utterly no sense. I know it keeps the bad with the bad and the good with the good, and that's good for like the kids of the fan base, because they're probably not going to be as good. They're barely getting to the ropes of the game, you know, and they get to stay with the kids, you know. But like, that kind of removes all the fun in it. And I know you're gonna be like, oh Craig, you're bitching about coming against people who are good. I don't mind that. Like, I would play ranked for that reason. Like, if I wanted to come against good people, I would play ranked. And if I want to play casually, I want to just come against like maybe some good people, maybe some bad people. It doesn't need to be 24/7. There's like no break. Like within the last COD, like you had in multiplayer, obviously you had the skill-based matchmaking, which felt like ranked. You have actual ranked, which is ranked itself. You have Warzone, which feels like people are playing for their lives in the Hunger Games. You know, there was really no break. And then you had the zombies last year, which was really, really lackluster. It was fun for like a bit, but really it was lacking so much on the fact that it was a live server and, you know, you're basically just playing Warzone zombies. It just wasn't it. I'm happy that we're gonna get round-based zombies, but I'm not gonna harp on about that, because I'm only gonna talk about things that were in the beta, and there was no zombies in the beta, so I haven't played any of that yet. So I'm not gonna give my opinion on the round-based zombies for Black Ops 6 this year. Enough of the skill-based matchmaking though, because I want to go on to something else that I liked in the game. The new body shield. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It adds a whole new dynamic to these kind of campy sort of players that would just sit in the corner with a shotgun, or maybe they're prone with a sniper. You know, you can kind of take advantage of them, and the fact that when you take them as a body shield, that you can shoot people as well is absolutely great, and they can take the damage. It's just such a cool dynamic, and it's something that I'm surprised COD didn't introduce sooner. You know, it just seems like that is quite a logical thing to do, to have that ability to have someone as a body shield. You know, you see the cliche in games where they have someone over by the neck and they're using them as a body shield and you have to shoot the guy in the head behind them. It's been used so much, but it's just never been in multiplayer, and it's just a lot of fun. And the fact that you can go into these kind of situations, you grab them and you can actually talk to them and talk shit to them the whole time, or do whatever you want, because some people are doing some freaky diddy stuff when they have the people in the body shields. But I'm just talking about in the game sense, you know, you can actually talk to them and you can maybe like get them to rat out their teammates or whatever. In general, it's just fun. It adds a new dynamic. It's not too invasive. It's just fun, and that's what you want. Like I said at the beginning, my main takeaway was, could you go into Black Ops 6 as a man or woman? Let's say you have kids, or you have a full-time job, or you just don't play the game that much in general. Could you go in and just enjoy it? Could you just go in and have fun? Well, my answer is yes and no. Let me explain what I mean. Like I said before, with the skill-based matchmaking in these casual lobbies, it really affects the flows of these matches, and it affects the actual lifespan of the game itself. With the constant bombardment of people who seem extremely sweaty and competitive, that they're the first ones to get these meta builds, they're the ones that have the time to watch these streamers for hours, they're the ones that keep up to date with all the patch notes and all this sort of stuff. You know, they're the ones that are ahead of the curve in every single scenario and know the best guns, know the best spots to get the best head glitches. It just feels like an uphill battle if you're not at it every day. My solution to this now is gonna sound ridiculous, but you just have to not take the game so seriously. And wait, I know it's easier said than done, but honestly, like, you have to try and take the game not as seriously. Try and actually focus on the fun aspects of it, because if you get too enthralled in like just wanting to win, you're bound to just get pissed off at the end of it. Because you're not going to win all the time, not everything's going to go your way, the game's going to glitch, your internet's going to mess up, you're going to lag, you know, some kind of crap is going to happen. And, you know, it just feels like you have to kind of almost put a different lens on it and treat it as a game from 10, 15 years ago. You know, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, 15 years ago, that's, Jesus, no COD games 15 years ago. Man, Black Ops 1 came out in 2010, that was 14 years ago. Oh my god, I'm getting old. If you are not willing, or you just do not have the time to do those sort of things, like I was saying, watch the streams and the meta builds and all that sort of stuff, you have to play it like we used to back in the day. Because before these streamers, before these meta builds, there was nothing. You just figured the game out. You just tried things, and if it worked, it worked, and if it didn't, it didn't. And that's what made it fun. That's what made it fun. You go into search and destroy, and you're like, oh, I'll try and ninja defuse this game, you know? I'll try and just sit next to the bomb, pretend I'm dead, you know, and I get a cheeky little defuse. Or you'd be like, oh, I want to try this weapon. I haven't tried this weapon yet. Let me go into a game and just give it a go. You know, you have to do all these different things. Just explore the game naturally, you know? And I've tried doing that with a few games recently, to try like step away from it a bit and just actually experience it myself. And I've noticed personally my enjoyment of games has gotten way better, because I get to experience everything organically, and it's just like, it's like I'm a kid again, being able to play these games for the first time. As an ending note, my overall opinion of the Black Ops 6 beta, and of course it's a beta, it's gonna change. This is literally just a feeler for COD to see what they think, how the community thinks, and what they're gonna do. I like it, I enjoy it. I will probably end up getting this game. You know, will this last long? Only time will tell, because COD can mess up the zombies, they can mess with the multiplayer, who knows what Warzone's gonna do to the game, you know. But right here, right now, I like it, I like where it's going, I'm enjoying it, you know, and I hope you guys did too. That's my thoughts anyway on Black Ops 6. What did you think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? How are you finding life as a casual gamer? Let me know down in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me in the algorithm and just getting out there and keep my name in the feed. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.